Welcome back to another great episode of Undressed with Paul and Patrick and Little Snow White 90210. The bitch is sleeping.
She is. Hey, Undressed bitches. I'm excited because we got another fun friend in the Colette Beverly Hills
Wait,
boutique.
is she really a friend?
I think so. Yes.
I'm excited.
Okay, so you guys know her from, of course, Jeff Lewis Live. She's a regular co-host, as we are.
I know her from the corners in Beverly Hills because we hang out like that.
Oh my God.
That was the old days. Okay.
That's how we did it.
I remember her from Insatiable because I fucking loved that show.
Right.
Yes.
She was naughty.
Very naughty. And you're famously known for being on Chelsea lately.
Yes.
Chelsea Handler.
Oh, I love you, Chelsea.
Woo-hoo.
Oh, Meg.
How about our guest?
Oh.
Yes.
I love you too. Oh, Sarah, we're talking about you. Oops.
Okay, can I announce our guest is Sarah Colonna?
Everybody in the studio. We've got nobody today. Everybody in the studio is cheering for Sarah.
God, it's deafening. The noise
Oh
is
my
deafening.
God. Hey, beautiful. Welcome
Hi.
to Collette.
Thank you. This is so exciting. I have not been here, so this is super cool to see all of your gowns.
Yeah, right?
and where the magic happens.
I know, because everybody always thinks, oh, yeah, Paul's just pretty. Oh, he's just demure. Oh, it's like nothing. I'm like, bitch, I work.
Yes.
I work.
Well, I was asking you how long these take to make because I cannot.
Long time.
Yeah.
Long
Yeah.
time.
The details are crazy.
Long time.
Yes.
That's why I start. I make him. I have the classic aesthetic, so it's timeless, and you're able to recycle and use. I have gowns that come back 10 years after, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
I
Oh,
redo
wow.
them.
Well, it's
then
really
make 'em
funny during
updated.
COVID. Right after COVID, a lot of his like wealthy clients that all their.
What do you
like,
mean a lot of them?
Well-
I only have those.
Well, the group, but there was a handful. That is true. You only
I
have
don't know
rich
the
clients.
other ones. Oh, you mean the charity ones too?
No,
Yes,
but
I do
there
that
was
as well.
but there was a handful of wealthy socialites that brought their gowns back in after COVID and said, "Can you rework these, Paul?"
Well, because
Instead
they're
of getting a brand new
because
gown.
the work that goes into each one
Yeah.
gown is so intensive that you don't want it to be something that you just wore once and hang, which is what we end up doing because
Yeah.
it's all over the covers of the magazines,
Right, it's
all
so
over the red
unique that
carpet,
it's hard to wear.
and you
100%.
can't wear it again.
But I guess COVID, kind of hit them financially a little hard.
We're like,
so.
can you just kind of make it look like it's not the same, but also it's the same?
It
Yeah.
So he was doing that.
It didn't even financially hit them. We just needed to keep ourselves busy.
You're like, hey guys,
Yeah,
we
let's
will
do
return.
something.
Yes. That's
Sarah,
true.
I have a question. Are you from Germany?
I was born there, but I was born on an Air Force base. So
Why?
my
Because
dad-
her last name is
no,
Colona, and that's like
no.
Cologne.
No, because you were born in Germany,
I was
right?
born in Germany.
Okay.
You were.
Yeah, I was born in Wiesbaden, but the Air Force base. So my dad
Wiesbaden,
was in the
okay.
Air Force. So I don't remember being there really
Okay.
at all because we were pretty young when I left.
Were you a
I was-
military brat? Like
I
you
was young.
Traveled all over? Or
Yeah,
no?
but all pretty much before I was 5, and then
Oh.
my dad was out by
Okay.
the time I was like 5 or 6 years old, and then. He got into. He was a
nice.
journalist, also in the military. He worked at
wow.
the Stars and Stripes newspaper.
Okay.
So we traveled. We still moved around a bunch when he was trying to get his sports editor.
I'm
job.
teaching journalism and podcasting
I know.
right now.
When you said that, I was like, shout out
Oh
journalism.
my
It's
God.
so crazy
shout
that they gave
out.
him this class because he does the fashion design class.
I
Like,
do
oh, will you
fashion.
teach
Yeah.
journalism and podcast? And it's really cool that he's doing it.
It
I'm
is
like, well,
cool.
I do podcasts. Of course I can teach. Of
Yeah.
course.
What
How-
is
how
it
long-
already over? Is it, oh, this
Oh,
is so
no, it's
exciting.
good.
Okay.
How long have you been doing your podcast? And what's it called?
So I have one called "Are You My Podcast,"
Yeah.
which I
Are
we-
you my podcast?
So
Cute.
speaking of trying to think of things during COVID,
Yeah.
a friend of mine and I were like, we watched Lifetime movies a lot.
You have friends.
I do. I have like 2.
Wow. Good to know.
Now you guys.
Good to know.
Oh, I have 4.
Wow.
That's funny.
Wait, is that a list I want to be on? I'm not sure. If there's only 4, there's not much to choose from.
Well, that is the list we're on because we did make the Sarah Colonna
invitation.
holiday Christmas party list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you'll see I have a lot of friends when you go there, or
Oh.
at least acquaintances, because it is going to be. It's our one party that we do every year, and it's so fun.
well,
fun.
don't worry. We'll harass all of them
But
for
yeah,
sure.
You guys are gonna love it. You'll be yes.
We'll be like, bitch, what the hell? What?
I have a feeling we're going to have a lot of mutual friends that we don't even know we have.
I know. I was wondering that because I was like a
All
bunch
the
of-
people
like,
I saw in the corner and in the alley.
God.
a lot of the people that those two. Yeah. People that had
What?
to pick me up after work.
Oh my God.
I'm going to have to turn in my heels.
Really?
Well,
Oh my
how did I find
God.
you?
Okay, back to Germany. So you were in Germany, and
Yeah.
then you were traveling.
Yeah, traveling around.
Yep.
Just moved around a lot when I was little, but then my parents got divorced when I was young too. So my dad moved out to California. We were in Texas at the time. My dad moved out to California. My mom.
Oh,
took,
he's got money.
No, he did. Yeah, he did.
Oops.
He did when he was when he he became a sports editor. It took him a long time to get there,
Wow.
but he
Yeah.
was a sports editor for the Orange County Register.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And then the
Orange
LA
County.
Times.
Okay.
He's from Orange County.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
You
lives.
guys could be like brother and sister
we
at this
probably
point.
are.
Got the same.
His dad was in the military too.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe. Do we have the same father? Did your dad die last year?
No, my
Okay.
dad's still alive.
Okay. Well, then.
Well, the one you know. I don't know.
I look like my dad. I look like my mom, actually.
Yeah,
But I do
exactly.
have some traits of my dad.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah,
So.
my mom moved us to Arkansas. Where her
Arkansas?
family was from.
Oh.
Yeah, her family
What
was
in
there.
the fuck is in Arkansas?
I mean, my mom. Actually, I'll be honest. I really I go back there. I wouldn't want to live there again, and
Yeah.
it's not because I don't like the state, but it's just I love the West Coast.
Yeah.
But when I go back, it is a beautiful state.
It
It's
is.
really
We've-
pretty.
have we been?
Yeah.
we haven't.
We
the
haven't been.
Ozarks, the mountains, the
Ozarks is in
greens.
Arkansas. That's where the drug money is.
That's in I think Oklahoma. Yeah.
I watched the show.
Oh my
watched the
God, he
show.
watches so much.
I
Yes.
did. I watched Ozark.
Yeah.
I know
It's a
Ozark
great
was there.
show.
I know,
Justin
that's-
Bateman. Yes, he's in it.
Yeah.
Isn't Arkansas near Louisiana?
Yeah. It's
It is,
close.
right? Because
Yeah.
we have a house in New Orleans, in
Oh,
French
you-
Quarter.
oh, right,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
So I thought it was
This is-
kind of close to there.
This is where he flexes.
But no, I'm not.
Like, he
Shut
just
up.
has to tell
No, but I
people.
remember there's like an Alabama that's close to us, and then
Did
Arkansas.
you say you
right?
remember there's like an Alabama?
Yeah.
I remember there's a state called Alabama.
And I'm the one that's
something like that.
geographically challenged.
Yeah.
Well, there is Alabama, right?
It's
There-
one of
yeah,
the
that's-
52 states.
In Arkansas.
52.
How many do we have now? Do we have more?
We have 50.
Oh, we do.
No, we have Alaska.
No, we
and
have
Hawaii.
50. That's including 50.
No.
And Puerto Rico is 50, right?
Wait, is it 52? Maybe it is.
Avery, can you check how many states we
Oh
have?
my God.
No, I don't
No,
think there's
there's
52.
50.
It's 50.
52.
There's not 52.
I'm a teacher. I know.
Well, I don't think you should be. 'Cause I'm pretty sure there's 50.
50 because it's 49. 48 is Puerto Rico, and 48 is Hawaii,
No.
and 49 is
Puerto
Puerto
Rico
Rico.
is not-
50 is Hawaii.
Puerto Rico is not a state.
It
Puerto
is.
Rico
No,
is
it's not a state. It's a territory,
Oh.
but and that just takes one away. 50.
50.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe you need to look at your
No.
teaching license.
You need to refresh that page.
So I'm wondering, is Puerto Rico part of the 50? No.
No, it's a territory, but they talk about
So we
making it
had
a state.
48, and then we
Okay.
had Hawaii and Alaska, and that made 50.
Yeah.
Why am I keep telling everybody I got 52 states?
I think that you are in 52 states.
Because you don't even fucking know where Arkansas is.
Oh.
I feel like you could have taught in Arkansas. With the
Well, thank God I'm not teaching
Oh
geography.
my God.
I'm so
That's
bad at
funny.
geography, but
I'm not good with
navigate-
geography either. But
You're not?
No.
I'm very challenged when it comes to navigation too, because I don't know where I am. If you drop me off at the front of the boutique, and you told me to go east, I would not. So I hate it when people talk to me north, south, east, west. I'm like, I don't know where I am. So
I
how am I
know.
supposed to know?
I say left. I'm like, just tell me left or right. Let's
Yes.
not make this.
Yeah, but Sarah,
Difficult.
we have navigation in the Mercedes. The bitch tells us where to go, and he
Yes.
still gets lost.
Right. I mean, that is a you problem. That's definitely. You also don't teach navigation in school, so that's good.
Thank God.
Yes.
but we do have the #1 fashion podcast, which is what I'm teaching.
There you go.
There you go.
See,
Exactly.
We all have our talents.
Wait,
Yes.
what's your podcast?
You had
Are
me convinced that there's 52 states for a good 5 minutes.
Oh my God.
Are you podcast?
Are You My Podcast?
Are You
Yes.
And
My
so
Podcast?
Okay.
we started during COVID.
Yep.
And we were doing Lifetime movies because we thought that was unique. We started watching this show, Married at First Sight, that's on Lifetime.
Yeah.
And suddenly we got a big listening base out of that. So I was like, I guess that's what we're covering. I mean, I do
Yeah,
love
yeah.
that show. So it's at least I was going to watch it anyway. So
And it's been on for a long
like
time.
18
We met one of the
seasons.
Married with
editors.
Children?
No.
Married
Married at First Sight. We met the
Married at
editors,
First
the
Sight.
lesbians at the TV Academy.
Married at First Sight?
Yes, they
Yeah.
do the show. They edit it.
it's 18 seasons.
I was
like
shocked.
House Hunters to me. But you're shopping for her husband or
kind
her
of,
wife.
but they just put you at the altar and you just have
Yeah.
to,
You're like randomly see the person and you're like, oh my God, is that who I'm going home with tonight?
pretty much.
What
That's
did I sign
what a
up
lot of them
for?
do. Yeah.
So you still do that podcast?
We do, yeah.
Okay.
It took off, and we're like, and we have fun. She's on the East Coast, and so
Okay.
we just record and.
And do you bring guests on, or you just talk about the show?
We mostly just do us, but then every once in a while we'll have a guest. A few times we've gotten to have like cast members.
Yep.
They
Why
go
are we
start to
doing it
listen.
like this format? This is so much work. Why don't we do her?
We just hop on,
It already has
online.
a built-in audience and
Well,
everything.
but you're right, because John and I just started a podcast too, my husband.
Okay.
And it's called The Book Lisp.
Yep.
Because
Lisp.
Lisp.
Oh,
yes.
like your lisp,
Why
babe.
you're making fun of me?
No, he has
You
a
just
lisp.
got here 5 minutes ago.
No, my husband has a lisp too.
He does?
Yeah, you guys will get together and no one will know what you're
I
saying.
didn't even know.
I knew I couldn't fucking
didn't
understand him
even
at
know
Universal
this.
Studios.
Yeah. It's slight.
Is that why he wasn't protecting me at Universal Studios? And I'm like, you are like, oh my God. I
He was too
yelling
busy
at him.
protecting me because I'm jumpy too.
Can I say though, he is the sweetest guy.
He's the best.
He was really like,
Yeah.
it was really cool
Yeah.
to meet him at Universal. Really down to earth, really fun, really sweet.
He
Yeah.
wasn't that sweet. He had no intentions of protecting me while he saw me being like all these people attacking me
That was
with
funny.
chainsaws and everything. And he's like, okay. I'm
think-
like, you're right here. Help.
I know.
He had to be on high alert because he knows how jumpy I was. And I'm like not a haunted house person, and I hate the chainsaws. That's actually my biggest fear. Is that someone's going to bring a real
Yeah, yeah.
one?
Alone
I know, I
threatens
can't.
me.
So
The
I
worst-
think I was clinging too hard to him for him to be able to
The
help us
worst
both.
room though was that room. Was it Texas Chain? Where it smelled like
Oh, it
dead
smelled
flesh.
like beef jerky or something. I was like, what is happening in here?
Oh.
It was awful.
That was a little much.
Yeah.
Did
Like
you know
these-
that some of the people that they had hanging were live, real people that kept grabbing me because Jeff kept throwing
Yeah.
me down there? I thought it was Jeff's hand. It wasn't. It was the other people.
That's funny.
See, that's what I did was I stayed behind you because then I knew that
So
you
he would be the
you would be the victim,
punching bag.
and then
Yep.
I could run through, and I'd be like, I know what's coming.
I'm taking
Because-
myself off the
But you're still gonna come to the party.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming to the party.
Yeah.
Yes. But I'm not your friend anymore. I'm like taking myself off.
But that was fun. Everybody getting together with Jeff Lewis's group and
It was
everybody.
really fun.
It was
I
really
hadn't
nice.
done that and gotten to hang out with a bunch of people outside of just the show.
You got to see a different side of
I
us.
know it was so fun. It was so fun.
How did you find your way to Jeff to be a regular chump?
He
with
reached
us?
out to me and
I love it.
and asked me to do it, and I was like, I love his. I've always liked his show. I
Yeah.
just find, I find all the chumps very entertaining.
amazing.
I just like the format. I've always had Sirius Radio,
Mm-hmm.
so it's kind of like what I always listen to. I got it for Howard, and then I discovered Jeff, and
Yeah.
so when he reached out to me, I was like, yeah, I'd love to
Okay,
do it.
I'll do it. And
Yeah,
it's fun.
and then it's nice. Luckily
Yeah.
I fit in. I mean, honestly, it's very similar to how I ended up on Chelsea lately. Like I was. They give you try it out they try you out once, and if it goes well you
And
come
then you're
back,
there.
and if you don't,
But you were on
didn't
Chelsea lately a long time, right?
yeah, I started as a roundtable guest.
Okay.
And so I would be on she and I knew each other for years.
Oh, okay.
So when they asked me to do it,
I
I
never met her
was
at the
nervous.
corner.
No, no. She was already more successful than me by then.
She moved up to like the Better Boulevard.
Yeah, she was over on Sunset.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But she.
I stayed at Santa Monica.
Yeah.
So how did you get on to Chelsea lately?
So she and I were friends forever
Okay.
because we both did stand up.
Yep.
And then when she got her show, she wasn't famous yet, so she couldn't really ask to have her friends on from
Right.
stand up. So, but they had this guy Michael Cox, who was a great scout. He would go to clubs and they would book comedians.
Oh, I
Yeah.
And then at first it wouldn't be 3 comedians, but then they finally figured out that format worked better. So then she started being like, hey, my friend is a really funny comic. Check her out. And if you like her, can you book her? And then a bunch of us got on that way. But I was so nervous because
Yeah.
you got it. If you fuck up, did
Yeah.
I say that?
Then
Yeah.
you're out.
Yeah, you're out, and you let your friend down a little
Yeah.
bit. But also, it's like, okay,
But it's
so
a great platform for you to be able
Oh.
to even experience something
Yeah.
that you
And-
can't see yourself practicing and figuring out.
Yeah.
And how nice is that? Because most of the time, people block you if you're getting into the same thing they're doing, and for
Yep.
her to bring you into the
she
fold.
wanted to bring everybody up that
I
she
love
knew.
that.
And so a bunch of us that had been doing stand up forever.
Yeah.
I mean, I was working, but not that show. picked a lot of elevated a lot of, because she elevated comedians on a nightly basis.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
the only show that's ever done that.
Yep.
So once I got on, it went well, thank God, and then I became a regular, and then they asked me to be a writer. So I was actually both.
Oh, you were writing.
I wrote on it too.
Very
They
cool.
wanted me to do that. For
No, they
Jay
didn't.
Leno.
Oh.
They did. They asked him
What
years
a
ago for
bitch.
Jay Leno, but
Oh,
it's
they
like,
did?
which I
Jay
don't
Leno.
understand. You're a fucking fashion designer. How are you going to write jokes for Jay Leno?
Yeah.
Loved the way that I would come up with things in the way that I did. Apparently, I'm like, they're like, you're funny. I'm like, I'm a designer.
Kind
like
of.
I'm not sure what that really means.
Yeah.
Is that a bad thing or a good thing? I didn't understand. And then when they asked me, I was like, you mean he doesn't write his own shit? Like I could never understand that.
Well, it's funny because they don't, but then they also do. It's like
Yeah.
we would write, the show and write jokes for her, and sometimes she would use a lot of them. Sometimes she wouldn't use any of them.
Did she have
Sometimes it
final
would be a
say? Like
mix.
she would go through and pick what she wanted?
She'd go through and pick,
Yeah.
and she'd have cards in front of her. But because that show was so off the cuff,
Yeah.
You
it
could
was
do
like,
anything.
yeah. Sometimes she would just because we all played off of each other. So sometimes you couldn't even as a guest on the round table,
Mm-hmm.
you could not try to have a joke planned because if you did and you
Well,
tried
you
to
don't know
work
where it was gonna
yeah,
go.
if you tried to work it in, it
Oh.
would just bring everything to a
Done.
grinding halt, and Chelsea would
Who
look
was
at you
the
like,
funniest
you idiot.
comedian on that show?
I would have been, but I was
shit.
never.
Besides you guys, like,
Oh.
but that you
Yeah.
think that you worked with, like the funniest.
God, there's a lot of people. Chris Frangiola.
Oh,
If you
yeah,
guys
he's
look
got a
him up,
special.
yeah,
Yep.
he's super funny. He and I actually have known each other for years too. He's really funny. He
And
was
his
always
career's
great.
exploded.
Yeah,
since that.
he has a big podcast.
Yeah.
and-
Oh, great!
yeah,
Is he gonna be at the party?
yeah, he is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure. Then I have my.
Speaking of your party, I am just going to warn you now. I am bringing my selfie light, but
No problem.
it makes great. I mean, all the pictures are beautiful. You saw the pictures from
I
Universal.
did, yeah. Don't you worry. We have a whole setup. When you walk up, there's going to be a photographer for little photo ops.
love
But
it.
you take your selfie light all
Love
over the
it.
yard, no problem. But Fortune was on Chelsea lately.
Yeah. Oh, she was? Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we worked together. So obviously
She's fun.
Fortune's
hilarious. Oh my
Yeah,
god,
she is really
I
funny.
loved her her dry sense of humor right away because it's not dry. I mean, she's very upbeat, but
Right.
but she would just throw
It
something
makes
in
sense,
sort of
yeah.
under
Yeah,
her
yeah, yeah.
breath
Yeah.
sometimes, and you'd be like, oh, like it would really crack me
Did
up
you
at
ever
work.
get to work with Ellen DeGeneres?
No, I didn't.
You
So
haven't.
I don't.
Kathy Griffin, because I would hang out with them.
Kathy came,
Yeah.
was on the show, but
Yeah.
yeah. So that was the other thing is because they had guests,
Right.
so we got to meet like
Oh.
all these
All the
huge
different-
celebrities
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
would come
Yeah.
through. But mostly as writers, you weren't supposed to like go down and like.
They would never
Stalk
let me
'em.
inside that gate.
Oh,
No, we had your picture hanging outside and said, "Do not let him in." Even
We
if
met-
he says he's a writer for Jay Leno, don't let him in.
who was that? We met Chewy, right? We met Chewy a couple times,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he was hysterical.
He was the best.
Yeah.
Rest
I
in
mean,
peace.
How do you land
That was
a
sad.
job like that?
I know.
just
Very
random.
sad.
Yeah, and he was the best. He had a really good sense of humor because obviously
Yeah.
we did stuff on that show you couldn't do
Right.
Yeah.
anymore.
Now you'd be canceled.
Oh God, I'm actually kind of glad it's scrubbed from the internet because I think so. I don't really
You mean
think
you
you
can't
can
go back and watch it? It's not on any of the platforms?
I don't think so, and I think because it was a nightly pop culture show,
Yeah.
it wouldn't.
Oh, because it doesn't resonate. It
doesn't resonate.
Right.
Yeah, so I think that's
It
why.
probably does.
Well,
I know. I know. Probably would.
Yeah, but I mean, the stuff that you guys did, again, there's no way half the stuff would be allowed. The jokes, all of that.
No,
I think we're in such a cancel culture now, which I
know.
really hate.
What's
I
the
do
cancel
too.
culture? I don't want to get canceled. Don't cancel me.
I know. I don't.
I'm just barely trying to figure it out.
It's like, I don't know why people can't just get over it. I mean, that's history. It's history. Keep it. Move on.
You know what I think is weird is when, and obviously there's different levels of it. Somebody does
Yeah.
something egregious or
Yeah.
assaults somebody.
Sure.
Yeah, they should be out.
Yes.
But
I put him in jail.
yeah, there you go.
They beat me up. I put him in jail.
Yeah. But like, they go through old posts, right?
Yeah.
And they find something that somebody had posted a long time ago.
Right.
And
Which
you-
was relevant at that time.
I know, and that's the thing.
because
is I'm like-
everybody was doing
I'm
it.
like, but you saw it 10 years ago
Yeah.
and you weren't mad at it, but now you are.
Right.
So you obviously, if you didn't take offense to it 10 years ago, you probably
100%.
were of the same mindset or like thought it was funny. And now so it's like you have to give everyone the grace that maybe they don't think the same way that they did that many years
But
ago.
it wasn't
That
even,
seems.
I don't even
Yeah.
think it's thinking. I think it's just the culture or the climate of what it
Oh,
is, and you're having fun.
I
Yeah.
mean,
and with no malicious intent.
I mean,
Right.
yeah, like a show like Archie Bunker's Place, it would All in the Family would never be on
No.
the air.
Yeah.
in this day and
what
age,
show would
never.
you want to work on? If you had a
Ooh.
chance,
Oh, I like that.
Which one would you go to?
I didn't expect you to have a good question.
I'm a teacher.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you.
That's such a good question.
Maybe I know them. Maybe I'll put in a call
Well, I'm
for
try-
you.
yeah, I'm
Or
trying to-
maybe block you. I don't know.
Yeah, now you'll block me. I'm trying to think, because one of the shows I always wanted to work on was Shameless, and I got to. I did
Yeah.
2 seasons of
Oh
Shameless.
my God, Gabrielle Walsh is a great.
Yeah, she's a friend of ours.
Oh.
She's been on our show and
Yeah.
Gowning Out
Like-
and Undressed.
Yes.
Shanola,
Yes.
Yes.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
I
I
were with her the other day. Oh,
Yeah.
so
She's
much fun.
awesome. The cool thing about that, because I did 2 seasons and I was the guest star, but I did like 5 episodes each season.
Yeah.
And they would invite me to table reads. So I got to meet everyone.
Oh, that's so cool.
Even if my scenes weren't with them.
Right,
Because all my
right.
scenes were with Carl.
They're very.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's his name? I didn't even recognize him when I first.
You were at
met
the
him.
diner or something, right? Didn't you? On that
Yes.
show, you played
A boss at, it was like a shrimp, the shrimp
where
shack.
they would come in and then you would take their orders and they would do whatever. They
No,
would do a lot of the stuff
I was
there.
Carl's boss, and I basically hit on him the whole
Yeah.
time.
Got it.
It was
Yeah,
really
yeah.
inappropriate.
Really
and
creepy.
Really
Yeah.
funny. Yeah.
That was the one. I forgot his name even.
Yes.
Ethan. Yeah.
We hung out with
The first time
him.
I
He was
met him.
fun.
He's the best. Such a good
So
guy.
the first time I met him,
Yeah.
I have no idea who he is. I'm sitting next to Sharon Osbourne. We've got the gang. There's all these people around me. We're having conversations, and I'm like, "Oh, what do you do?" And he's like so intrigued with what we're talking about.
Paul had no idea who the fuck he was.
He's like, I've been on a show for 12 seasons.
No, he goes, "Oh, I'm an actor." I go, "Well, you're in the right place. Let me introduce you to a couple of my friends."
We're at the Chateau Marmont actually with Sharon
Oh, they're
Osbourne.
like, I work with him every day. Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious.
No, he never told me. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden,
No, you were
went to go
talking
get a
about where he
drink.
lives, lives in Santa Clarita. He's talking
Yeah,
about like
I'm
all
Santa
of this
Clarita,
stuff.
You need to get out of there so you can come back into LA so I can get you some
I was like,
drinks.
yeah, if you come to LA, you could make it in Hollywood.
He is very low key. I could see him never being like,
It's just- but I think he was being entertained at the fact that here I am sitting with all these who's to do with Hollywood.
Yeah.
And then I'm asking him like I have no clue. I'm like, I don't know you.
So funny.
Because I was sitting with my friends. So I don't
Yeah.
see them as a celebrity. I see them as my friendship.
Yeah.
So I don't really care that you do this or that. I'm just
but
I-
also,
we're just
I
chilling.
leaned over to Paul and I said, "Do you know who that is?"
No, that's what happened. So he goes to the bar,
That is what
gets
happened.
a drink and comes back, and I go, "Babe, I think he's on Shameless." I mean,
After I said, "Do you know who that is?"
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Well, wait a minute. Didn't you? You're with my other friend that was on Shameless," and I started naming people off, and he goes, "Oh, I think I remember them." I'm like, "What a bitch!
Oh,
this
that's
whole
funny.
time you're not even telling me."
But you know what?
Yeah.
I like that, because I think a lot of people, they forget that there's so many shows. And
Yep.
if you don't watch it, you don't necessarily know.
Yeah.
Of course.
But you watch.
Right?
I made him
And
watch
so-
the show. I loved Shameless because
Oh,
I
it's
come
so
from a
fun.
very dysfunctional, crazy Catholic, Roman Catholic family. They just totally related.
It
to
was
the,
such a good show.
Great show.
Yeah, I talk about like not giving a shit about the storylines, and just because the minute I was like, oh god, at one point I was like sniffing him from behind and had to slap him on the ass, and it was so fun. It was
you
really
felt like you were
fun.
in your element.
I know.
Porn
Yeah.
back in the day.
Oh my God, who was the main girl? I forget her name. Oh, I know her name.
Emmy Ross.
Emmy Rossum
Yeah.
loves Snow White. We were at an event
Oh, really?
with her,
She's
and
gonna
she
kidnap
yeah.
Snow White. I'm
Oh.
like, Betty White's in the house again.
Snow
Like,
White
what
does not
happened?
seem interested in me. She is out like a light.
in.
Well, she
baby.
knows.
Yeah.
When she comes up here, she's like,
She knows that
I'm
she
gonna
has
do
to be quiet.
They're going to be doing this for a minute.
I know exactly. She's like, I'm used to it. You also did Last Comic Standing.
I did,
And
yeah.
tell me about that because he loved that show.
Yeah, I did it. I did it oddly. I think it was the season Amy Schumer was on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that at the
And
castle?
And she made it, and
No.
you were left behind.
Oh, yeah.
What happened?
No, honestly, I was very happy with what I got, because I got to a certain level.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the seasons where they had to live together.
Oh,
You didn't have to
okay.
live with
You
anyone.
just would
Thank
show
Got it.
God.
up and do your
That was
Yeah.
the earlier seasons where they lived together, right?
Yeah. And
I love the part when you guys were hanging out in the back behind a curtain, and you guys are like, "Oh yeah, she's fucking."
Yeah, it
and
was
then the comments. I
yeah,
love that part.
it was fun. It was weird because
Yeah.
it is weird to pit comedians against each other because I feel like there's room for everyone's so different.
Yeah.
And if you're writing different material, so that's the only part that kind of made me uncomfortable, but I knew it was a good opportunity. But honestly, it was like I got a really good set on NBC,
Okay.
and they didn't pass me on to the next, which is fine because
Yeah,
it gets
yeah.
cut down. But I was really happy because I was like, I didn't get shit on. I had
Right.
a really good set. It
So
it
at
played
least-
on NBC.
How many episodes were you on?
I can't even remember.
So you got
It was
four-
like-
you-
yeah, like semifinals.
Okay,
or
very
She's on
cool.
the editing room floor.
Oh yeah. I'm probably exaggering when I say semifinals. It probably wasn't that far,
It
but
must have been 2 people.
Was it a fun
One
show to
and
work on, though?
semifinals.
yeah, it was fun.
It's like Miss America.
Yeah.
Let's hold hands. It's only us two.
That part is so weird.
I
But
know.
but it was
Like
it
they're
was
rooting
fun.
for each other. Those
Yeah.
bitches are trying to tear each other's weaves off. You know
Yeah,
this.
I don't like a competition. I love to watch a competition
Yeah.
show, but I don't want to be a part of one.
Do you write all your own material, your jokes and stuff?
I do.
And
yeah.
if you, what makes you want to be a comedian? I'm always curious
I don't
as
know.
to how do you wake
Yeah,
up
what
one
do you-
day and
Wake
say, I want to be a fucking comedian because
I don't know. I just always wanted to be one. And actually, it is funny because a lot of people say it comes from like trauma and whatnot, but I
Yeah.
didn't really
Which one of us
have.
doesn't have trauma?
I know everyone has something, but I didn't really have. Like, I don't come from a dark upbringing or anything like that.
Just
I
Arkansas.
Divorce.
Yeah.
So let me.
I mean, my dad was married 4 times. He gave me a lot of material.
that's true.
Let me backtrack just 10 seconds when you said I was born in, what was it?
Germany.
Yeah,
Air Force
and
Base.
Wiesbaden.
then in a base. And
Wiesbaden.
then you left at 5 or 6. Then the parents got divorced. Then one moved to California. The other one went to Arkansas. You still go visit.
Okay, God. All right, I'm breaking down here. It was
Let me
traumatic.
go back to all of this.
Oh my
No,
God.
it-
And you don't know how many dads you had?
I
Or
know.
no one that you were
I
asking
don't-
if he died last year?
I had a lot
God.
of stepmoms. I did have a lot of stepmoms.
Colona is Italian, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So my great uncle
Uh-huh.
was a famous comedian and actor.
Oh, see, that's something.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I maybe it just kind of
You followed in
runs.
someone's footsteps.
Yeah, he used to travel with Bob Hope, and he was in all the like Bob
So
Hope
he was
movies.
really rich and famous.
fun.
He was very. I
Oh,
mean,
Sarah.
a long time ago.
Jesus, you've
That's
tried
hilarious.
so many times.
I know.
It worked out for you.
I know. He died before I started
Oh,
doing
yeah?
this. so,
Is
yeah.
your next bestseller on New York Times bestseller list going to be How Not to Make It in a Business?
Yeah. How to
Oh my
just
God.
how to just barely stick it out
How to just
for
survive.
30 years.
Oh my God. So what do you think about, I'm always curious, the AI, and now they're saying that they're writing comedians' jokes.
Yeah.
We did this whole podcast on AI.
Oh,
I
shut up.
know.
We
know
did
all
not.
this.
I'm not even really here, guys.
Yeah, the whole thing.
No, I think it's weird. I mean,
Yeah.
I think I did actually. I just put something in one time because I wanted to see how good it was.
Yeah, yeah.
ChatGPT or like
Well,
the program.
yeah, I just wanted to see how good it was, like how nervous I need to be that
Right.
some random people. I mean, you have to have stage presence. You have to have timing.
course.
But I was like, how likely is it that someone that isn't a good writer could actually start doing stand up? And it was
Yeah.
so bad and it made me feel better. I was like, oh, this is bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was
But if it's-
basically
Wow.
like
Is it bad that it's good?
no, it was like airplane food jokes, like just
Oh.
not. And so I was like, that makes me feel better. I know that it will get better.
Yeah.
And I don't mind if someone wants, I don't know if people use it to sort of help spur on ideas or
Mm-hmm.
something, but I don't think it should be taking the place of
And do you,
personal
when you
voices,
do
yeah.
when you do your shows, do you do new material for each show, or
yes. I work it in. So
Okay.
basically, because you have
And
an
it's
hour.
stories, right?
Yeah.
Basically
Yeah,
stories?
I'm more
Okay.
of a storyteller. And
Okay.
then, so you take, you have to have a good hour when you're
Yep.
headlining. And then you kind of want, by the next time you go to the same city, because
Yeah.
a lot of times you go to the same places once a year. So you want to have new material for
Okay.
the repeat, because I have a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah.
people that come every time. So did you get a phone call?
What?
No.
What? No, she's
Oh, she's
left.
gone.
What is he doing?
left?
I wanted to make sure Avery was.
Oh my God.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Can I?
Okay.
We're gonna.
It only took 13 seconds.
All right. There we go. Okay. Sorry.
No, so a lot of times I have the same people come through
Oh,
the
okay.
same city. If
I always wondered that because when Jeff was saying like a lot of people like the chumps
Yeah.
were saying that some of the chump shows were the same and he wanted different people. So for chumpness, it's
Oh, right. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you want to mix
it's
it
different.
up. So I try to, I mean, you can't, I think it would be impossible to have a brand new hour, every couple months or something. I've seen some people do it, but for the most part, you work it out until it's good, and you work on something small, and then it gets better and better and better, and then it gets longer.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
This is a fucking cushy job. I'm making a new dress, a new collection, new inspiration of color, new ideas about what the future has to hold in fashion every day.
That's
You
true.
get on stage, and you have to come up with things to make people laugh, and you have to work things out to get them solid.
Yeah.
That's like what Fortune
Well, what do you
doing
think?
all
I
her
spend $1
specials.
million on each collection. So when I'm putting that kind of effort into it, they better like it.
I know.
Have you ever done a comedy show where you
That's
just
hard.
totally bombed?
Oh, definitely early
Really?
on. Yeah.
And what do you like? You go up and no one's laughing, or like, what do you do?
When you're
Throw something at
when
them?
you're
or-
starting out, oh God, you just cry. You go and cry.
Oh my
When you're
God.
first starting out and you don't know how to, the good thing is when you get good at it,
Yeah.
and when you've been doing it for a long time, when you
Yeah.
have actually people coming to see you, if something's not working, you know how to weave out of it, so you don't bomb anymore. You don't have like this awful moment. You just go, oh, that wasn't working, and I'm going to move on to this other thing. Especially when you're working in new stuff.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to do stand up.
Oh my God.
No.
You have
I
no
say no,
fucking
you're not
time
allowed
to
to.
do stand up.
No.
I go-
You have to
I
have like
do-
AI write it for you.
Like, no, what friends for? I thought maybe like 3 jokes between you, Fortune, and a couple of other ones that I know. I mean,
No, we write our own material. You're going to have to write your own. Jay Leno thought you could write white. Well, so do I.
yeah, but I can't even dress myself. I guess somebody else.
You are a best-selling New York Times bestseller, right?
Yes, I am.
She's
2
gonna be
books?
again.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the first one was Life as We Blow It,
Life as I blow it. Hmm.
and it's about sex.
No, it's not.
It's not.
It just sounds like
Cocaine?
it. Yeah. Yeah. Just only cocaine.
blow
It's
it?
just about cocaine. No, it was funny the way I came up with the title. Because
Okay.
was a friend of mine I was trying to come up with the title, and he's like, what's it about? And I was just like, life and short stories. And I mean, it was my stories, but I'm
Yeah.
not like, I'm not Carol Burnett. I don't have 90, years of all this wisdom to share, but
Yeah.
I was on a show that people were buying books,
course.
and they're like,
Of course.
and this book agent was like, no, tell your stories. People like to
Interested.
read, and
Yeah.
people want to hear funny stuff. It doesn't matter if they know you or not.
It's true.
So I kept saying like, I don't know, it's like life. And he's like, yeah, your life as you know it. And I was like, more like as I blow it. And then that's how I came up with the title. So it had several connotations in people's heads, and that's perfect. But
And
it
did
was
you
more
have a-
about like fucking things up along
Yeah,
the
yeah,
way.
yeah. And did you have a ghostwriter? Or you did everything
No,
yourself?
no, I wrote it.
Hey,
Yeah.
I did it.
No, no, because we wrote our book ourselves, the Anna
Yeah.
Nicole book, because
It's a lot of
they
work.
always say you need a ghostwriter. I'm like, we
I'm
don't
glad
want
you-
a ghostwriter.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you gave me some credit in this conversation because
I
you
never-
always take credit for it. You never say I even had anything to do with it.
Oh, bullshit, bitch. You always say, I wrote the book, and then I
I
correct
did.
you and say, we wrote the book.
But you didn't. It's I wrote the book.
Oh,
Was it
bullshit.
50-50?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Actually, it was more like 80-20.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you typed it.
Oh, fuck, you can't even spell. You're Armenian.
That's what spell check's for.
You think there's 52 states?
Thank you. I love Sarah Colonna. I knew it. You do.
I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna do some research. I'm gonna do.
And-
There's 2 more states somewhere I heard about.
You think
yeah.
there's 52 states and you have a lisp. Of course, it was 80% that I wrote the book.
Let's not talk about John like that. He may hear this podcast.
He's a big guy.
Yeah, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah, does your husband just live at the fucking gym?
I mean, he
He has an amazing body.
I know. He's just always worked out really hard. 'Cause he was a punter in
Right.
the NFL.
Yep.
And they don't tend to be
Wait,
as
what's a punter?
it's they if they don't get a touchdown, they they kick it.
The
They
kick,
flip
right?
the field.
Kicker, right?
Kicker.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's different than a kicker. A kicker kicks the field goals. The punter
Oh.
kicks when they on 4th down if they're not going to make a touchdown or kick a field goal. The punter kicks it as far as they can.
So
to
he doesn't do
flip
the
field.
field goals. He
The
just-
punter holds for the field goals.
Oh, so he's the ball holder.
So no, well yes, yes. I guess he has.
He holds the
he's,
ball?
he's held a lot of balls. He's held
my
several
God,
balls.
I love him more.
We knew we liked
And-
you, John.
Yeah, there's two people. That
So he
kick.
doesn't
I thought
kick
was
it.
One person that did all that. Because if you kick the ball, you kick the ball. I mean, who can't kick the ball?
Well, it's that's very hard.
Oh, it is?
First of all, but it's also two very different jobs. One's
But I know what
for a different distance.
I know
and-
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But does he like run on the field and stuff when he was playing?
Yeah, I mean, there
okay.
was like, but a lot of times punters aren't as like, they would always joke with him like he's jacked, like you're jacked for a punter. A lot of them are tall and lean.
Yeah,
and
that's
and
skinny,
he was,
right? Really, like,
yeah,
not
but he also
buff
you
and-
have to stay at a certain weight. And
Okay.
then once he retired, he was just like, I can bulk up even more if I
You
want.
can
And now he's just like a
get
big
rich.
hunk of man.
You can get rich just holding a ball and never being used in a game, and then retire.
No, he has to kick. The punter has to.
How many times they did freaking kick?
They after third down, well, on fourth down when they
what
didn't
if
make.
if they didn't get
I
a
can't ex-
touchdown.
So I'm confused. His whole thing is he comes to the field and puts the ball down and holds it.
Well, that would be that's for the field goal. That's for the kicker. He will.
Okay.
He also holds. It's a 2-job.
Oh, so he can also throw ball and play and run and.
Yeah, he scored a touchdown pass.
Okay.
You guys should watch that. I'll send you
Well,
the
let's
link.
not talk
wanna
about
see
how
that.
huge he is
Anyway,
right now. We
but
don't have, like,
no,
lots of time.
there's when kicking a field goal, there's a
Yeah.
kicker, and then there's someone that snaps the ball to the punter, and then
Okay.
the punter has to get it down. It's all within a very small amount of time, and they
okay.
have to kick it. But he also kicks as a punter on fourth down.
Got
when
it.
They
She
don't,
knows
when
so
they,
much.
So did you know anything about football before you met him?
I did. I feel like I don't right now because I feel like I'm losing breath. I can't. I'm like, am I?
She had her-
explaining this.
This is like 52.
Yeah, it's like a 52 second.
Oh my
but no, I
God.
did, but I learned a lot more about it as far as like
course.
the intricacies of the game and the complications.
You wanted
and,
to make
like-
sure that
But he
retirement
doesn't-
was intact.
Yeah.
You wanted to make
Yeah.
sure that you
I was
can't
like,
retire
I'm
before
going to
you
all.
get together
I'm
with
going to
you.
all the games.
But he
Yeah.
doesn't play anymore, right?
No,
He's
no,
retired.
He retired. Yeah.
Okay.
How do you
He
retire
played-
from something that you just hold the ball
I love
at?
He
that.
doesn't just hold the ball, and also it's very difficult. It's like they have to time it quickly.
So
get
you
the
don't
ball
kick
down,
him, right? So they
and-
don't kick him.
Well, no, so that they can make the field goal. If you don't
Oh.
get that ball down in the right, exactly right,
Yeah.
the,
God,
the
there's
miss
a
of the
science
full,
to this.
it
I
is a
thought
sci-
there were-
Of course
there's
there
like
is.
passing the
serious
ball
science to it.
around.
Don't, if you want to get him
Yeah.
started, ask him at the Christmas
Oh, really? Oh,
party. He'll
interesting.
tell
I'm
you
so
everything.
interested
Is
about
that
this.
the Colorado we went to? They have a horse that runs from one side to the other.
Denver Broncos.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it called? Oh,
A
little-
Bronco, I guess.
Denver
That's
Broncos.
what they call it.
She's a little
Mascot.
What was the horse has a name, and we were calling because Snow White.
Little Thunder. They were calling it Big Thunder,
Yeah,
and they said they were
Snow
calling
White was
Snow White Little Thunder.
Oh,
She was
cute.
on the jumbotron every time the Big Thunder was going. I was going like this.
Oh my
little
God,
Snow
that's
White,
hilarious.
And they were like, "There goes Little Thunder."
Was she wearing a little jersey?
She was.
cute.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
very
See,
cute.
Our friend has seats in Colorado, so
She
we-
probably knows more about football than you do.
does.
Yeah.
She knew exactly
More than
when
me.
when the touchdown happened, when the horse had to go.
Yeah.
The only thing about the football that I know is I like going to the live games.
Yes.
I never
Any
like
game.
wanted to watch it on TV. I
Yeah.
like going live games, and we
Well,
went
how
a
do you
couple
think
times.
she found her husband? She went to the live games and she goes, "I got my
Oh,
eyes."
yeah, how did you meet John?
And then she's like, "Oh, I see. He's got. Wait a minute."
He actually picked me. He
No!
picked me out. Yeah. So he loved Chelsea lately. He used to watch it all the time.
Okay.
And
Look at that, you had a fan.
yeah, just
How
one.
sweet.
One.
That's all you need.
Way
all
back.
it
That's all,
That's
yeah,
you
just
need.
the one. Do you know Ross Matthews?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ross is a big Seahawks fan,
Okay.
and Ross was on Chelsea lately too.
Yep.
So John approached him on the sidelines when he was at a game, and he said, "Hey, I think Sarah Colonna is single. Is there any way you could?"
You're kidding me.
Oh my
Introduce
God.
us.
I knew you by name.
Yeah.
Not even like that.
I love
extra
it.
in the
No,
back,
I
that
was like,
right
God.
there.
No, I was his crush.
And how
Oh
many
my God, how
years ago
sweet.
did you guys meet?
That was 10 years ago.
And you've been married for
6. No,
Wow.
8. We got married in 2016. Yeah. What year is it?
Delete
How
this
many
part.
states are there?
and I am going to say you have a beautiful ring.
Yeah, he did nice work.
How
on
did he
the
propose
ring.
to you?
He.
Who cares?
I'm
What's
curious.
your retirement look like?
Well,
You know what he asked me? He said when he was asking me what kind of ring I would want,
Yeah.
because we kind of knew right we were going to get married eventually.
Yep.
But and I just said, I like silver. I don't really like gold. And the less you ask for, the more you get.
I
apparently.
love it.
So,
Not this
yeah.
bitch.
I know.
This
It's very
bitch
nice. I
is
know.
telling me, "Oh, we'll get married when I get a bigger ring."
Girl.
How much fucking bigger can it be?
Girl, I'm gay.
It can't be much bigger than that.
Oh, it
You wouldn't be able to lift up your hand anymore.
I can hire somebody to hold up my hand.
That's a good point.
I'm
Yeah,
fine.
you could put it in a little sling.
And then you know what he told me? I want to be buried with my ring.
Well,
Fuck
our
no,
daughter's not
I am
gonna wear
cutting
it.
that
Oh, no.
finger off.
She doesn't want to wear it. She's like,
No. Listen, don't get buried with any jewelry. That's a waste.
Right?
Yeah. Just give it to me.
Sarah, I said, of course, babe, I will bury you with it. And then,
No,
Yeah,
then I'll
you won't
slip
know
it
he's
off
dead.
his finger.
Right off your cold, dead hands.
well, he wants to cremate me anyway because I want to be wrapped around his neck everywhere he goes.
Please
I
not.
don't want to be in a box at home. I'm like, take
Oh
me
my
everywhere.
God.
Yeah. Put
Let's
you in a
go,
little
bitch.
necklace.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
designing it now.
Yeah.
I'll put this diamond
Sew it in a boa.
You worked on a show with one of my all-time favorite actresses.
Oh.
Who I fucking love. I want Paul to make a gown for her
Muriel's
forever.
Wedding?
Yes, Toni Collette.
Oh, yes.
I love
did.
United States of Terror was one of the best shows ever on TV.
I loved that show. It was so fun. I had a very quick, like, if you blink,
Yeah.
you miss me. I was in one of her, like, group therapy sessions.
Yep.
I had lines.
Yeah.
It was one of my first.
Oh, I'm going to go back
one
and
of my first.
screenshot.
Yeah, it was one of my
I
first
totally
like
wanted to
co-star.
screenshot.
But was she
parts.
fun?
Yeah, she was so cool. And
Yeah.
it was weird. Another friend of mine happened to get cast in the same episode.
Oh, you're
And
kidding.
So
That
we
bitch
were.
didn't even tell you?
No, it was a guy. And we
Oh,
were just like,
tell you that
Yeah.
he was going to be on, and then you show up, and there's
We
there.
were-
I hate friends
we
like
were
that.
both there the same day. We were like, "What? Oh, how did we both get cast on this
Oh
episode?"
my God.
But it was fun. She was super cool. I mean,
He-
I didn't have a ton of interaction other
Yeah.
than that.
I was
But
going to ask if she was coming to the party.
no, she'd probably be like, "Who?"
He gives me so
We may
much
have to-
shit
we may have to
because
leave early.
I've seen Muriel's Wedding like 100 times.
It's
It
a
is
good
one of my
favorite
ultimate
movie.
favorite movies.
It is
when
a
he
good
saw
movie.
Muriel's wedding, as soon as Muriel's wedding happened,
It was
Yeah.
the best.
it was every single show thereafter that Toni Collette was on. We had to watch it at least 100 times.
I love her.
Yeah,
She's
I love her.
such a good actress.
What was the
And he knows so
most-
many people, but for
Pieces
him
of
to
me.
have a
Pieces
crush-
of her. Piece
piece
of her.
That was a really
Brilliant.
crush
Yes.
that he's got
Yeah.
on Toni Collette.
Does she know? Does she know about your crush?
No.
No.
You know what? We've never crossed paths for whatever.
Oh,
No,
really?
it's so bizarre.
It's because she's not here very often.
No, but we did. We got invited. It was really, remember?
You're
we
gonna
got
blame me for this one.
No,
feel it.
no. We got invited to one of the Academy events that she was going to be at, but remember we couldn't go because we were traveling. I think that's when we were traveling to Costa Rica, and so we had to cancel it.
That was your birthday.
I'd RSVP'd for it, and then we went to Costa Rica and took our friends and booked the whole hotel for all our friends and brought them all to Costa Rica and
my
spent
husband
the
doesn't
birthday
believe
for the
in
week.
just having a party.
Yeah,
he
that's a
believes in
fun
taking
party.
everybody to another country and taking over all.
It's pretty fun.
That was fun, right?
Did you
I
watch
mean-
Muriel's wedding on the plane? Just to,
I
like,
did.
Get your fix. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
But I was so bummed because I was like, "Oh my God, finally get
How
'cause
come you didn't invite?
we didn't know Sarah.
You didn't
then.
know me.
I know.
When was it?
This was 2 years ago.
Okay, yeah.
No,
Well,
Yeah.
it wasn't 2 years.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago.
It was before.
It was 2 years ago because my sister died and my mother died, my sister died, and then we went to Costa Rica the day of my sister's memorial.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 2 years ago.
Yep.
So yeah, we didn't know each other. So
I
I'll
know.
be on the next trip.
We're
Can't
fun.
wait. You guys pay
We're
for it,
pretty
right?
fucking fun. We had the whole
guys are
resort.
fun.
We had
You
the
are
whole
fun.
resort. No one had to pay
Yeah.
anything. They just had to get their flight there. That's it.
Oh, that's fun.
And we had
that's the way to
everything.
do it.
Yeah.
We
And
had
it was
limo
vegan, and
services
we're not
back
even
and forth with
vegan.
them, too,
Not.
so it
Oh.
was
I mean, if you're gonna invite
It
people,
was
it's
an intimate
not
tour.
easy to do, obviously. But if you're gonna
Right.
invite people and you can host them,
Well,
it's
you
such
ca-
a nice feeling.
You can't do
Right.
flights for anybody anymore, considering
Yeah.
everyone's schedule is so complicated.
No, but
And
we
it's-
did the hotel, the food, everything, all the
That's
activities.
plenty.
All the
Yeah, get
activities.
yourself
Right?
there, and we've
Just
got
get
everything.
there.
there.
Yeah.
Plus, you don't want to deal with like, oh, I don't care what your frequent flyer mile
Right.
number is. Like, just get yourself there, aisle or
Putting everybody
window.
on a plane, on one plane,
Yeah.
was very challenging. So I'm like, you know what?
Just get your flight
Enjoy
there.
it there.
And they all
Yeah.
did, which was great. But one thing, Paul, you cannot stand and you hate is if when someone invites you somewhere for like a birthday or something like that, and they have like, it's a bar and you have to go buy your own drinks,
can't.
buy your own food, and
Oh.
you just show up for a meat
can't.
place. I can't see that. You're inviting
Oh, it's
someone.
a cash bar at our holiday party. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't drink. Well, hold on. I'll bring my own bottle.
Fuck, is it really?
No, of course not. No, of course not. But yeah, I agree.
But don't
I
you agree?
You better
Yeah.
bring your own stuff from the bar.
Especially a wedding or something. I mean, I understand people have to live within
I
budgets
don't
and
mind
stuff.
it.
But
Right.
I don't mind it. But when it's something special that you're doing and you're hosting,
Yes.
then it should be something that you, or let everybody know in advance and say, you know what, it's going to be $100 a person. We all,
Right.
I want to make sure that
Right.
we all get together and I'll facilitate it.
Yes,
But
that's a great way to do it.
Let's all pitch in something so that it's not stressful for anyone to feel less than.
But we have a
Right.
group of
That's
friends
it.
that we do that with, and I
there's
love
different
them.
groups
They're
of friends
great.
that we do it
But the
with,
only
yeah.
thing that pisses me off is we always find up paying the most because
Oh.
he doesn't drink, not one. He doesn't drink alcohol at all, and so they're all
I never have a
alcoholics.
bill.
Oh, yeah, and then you end up paying part of the bill.
When we
that's
went
like
to the-
Bill
hundreds-
alcohol,
yeah,
$3,000
Jesus.
just on alcohol
Oh,
for
boy.
one dinner. I'm like, there's only 8 of us.
Yeah, he's like,
yeah, that's
there's a
not
problem
fair.
with this.
Yeah, see, that's not fair because I'm like, I'm one of those people who thinks just when it's a big group, everyone just split the bill.
Right.
Unless it's a specific that. If
Right.
it's everyone's drinking alcohol and
Right.
you just don't drink at all,
Not at all.
then it
But
should just
but
be.
I don't even drink bottled water.
Right.
So they order
How do you survive?
I
What do you
know.
drink?
Beverly Hills Tap.
We
90210.
we were in Croatia on the Naughty cruise, and I remember one of the days in it was in Croatia, one of the islands.
yeah.
They were all alcoholics. We had a whole cabana, the whole
we
the
had
whole club was rented out.
Everywhere we went,
Right.
we had pretty much shut down the whole
Right,
place.
and we had all
yeah.
prepaid and split it down the number of people there, and we had unlimited. You know, we're supposed to have whatever unlimited alcohol, food, everything. It was amazing, but he doesn't drink any alcohol, and there were some people that drank more alcohol than everybody put
How
together.
could you go?
That would be me.
We went over. We went over
go
our
over-
our top by triple,
You
right?
go over unlimited. How do you go over unlimited? They had to, because here's
Oh
what
my God, that's
happened.
hilarious.
Because you're on an island. They went through all the alcohol. They had to send a boat out to go get more
get
alcohol
more.
from somewhere else to bring it back to the
Oh
island.
my God, that's quite a group you guys were with. They were
They
like, we have
didn't
to,
need to eat.
we have to fly in alcohol
They
for
did-
you. We
yeah,
ran out.
They had to go
Yup.
get the alcohol to bring back. And at one point, our boat, the yacht,
Yes.
had to pull over to liquor it up.
To get more alcohol.
Because there was not enough. And these
Yeah.
people were 24/7 not stopping.
It
Was
was
that hard for you when you're
Amazing.
sober against? I mean, I know that the trip obviously must be fun, but if people
Right.
are like really loaded and you don't drink, is it annoying or does it bother you?
No, but I'm not sober, though.
No, he's never not drank.
Right.
He's not an
I just
alcoholic
never-
or anything.
No,
He
you
just
just-
doesn't
I
like
know,
alcohol.
But I mean,
No.
since you just don't drink,
No.
it doesn't bother you? No.
I'm entertained so much more.
Okay.
because
Yeah.
I get to see
Yeah.
all the mayhem.
I always wonder what that would be like if you
But I
didn't
had such a
drink.
good
and-
time. They
Yeah.
don't really know whether I drank or not.
That's true.
People, I think, want to drink or do drink because they need a little bit of boost. In my case, I'm a good time.
Yeah,
guy
I think it's a
right
good, I
now.
think
We
it's a
had-
good thing you don't drink.
We had one lady on the yacht. I love her. She's amazing. She
Mary?
smuggled in, no, she smuggled in all these mushrooms. And then
Oh my God.
we were passing out mushrooms like
On
4 in the
paper
morning
trays.
every day.
Oh my God, did you do mushrooms?
No.
Okay.
No, he's so boring. I did all of that. He didn't
I'm
do
like,
any
okay,
of it.
So if you really want to know, Mary decided I had like a little sniffle. So they're doing mushrooms. They're doing I don't know what else. Whatever you could imagine.
Everything.
Boat
Oh God.
has it, and
Yeah.
if they couldn't get it through customs,
They
there's
brought
a
it.
helicopter
Yeah.
that dropped.
It was
off to the
crazy.
boat. It,
Oh
it-
my
it
God.
was that kind of an event.
It would just fly by and
Yes.
drop down.
It's amazing.
Trust me when I tell you these people, and I can't tell you who they are, but there was the who's who of anything of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm
boy.
the little guy on the boat. No big deal. I'm still calling it a boat. Apparently, it's a yacht.
It's a yacht.
Okay.
So
Yacht.
on the boat, and all this stuff is happening, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, I said, I have the little sniffles. She's like, oh, I got you covered because they got medication galore too.
Oh,
Case full.
anything.
So they're like, oh, honey, just have this for breakfast, and I'll just put it in there. I don't know, just give me half of whatever it is, 'cause I'm sure I can't do the whole of anything anyway because I don't
Yeah.
even take Tylenol. Like no headaches, nothing. I don't get
Nothing.
Tylenol.
Okay.
So she puts a half in the thing. I was knocked out for an entire day.
What
whole
was
day.
it? Did
My
you?
tongue was hanging out of my mouth. I laid there in bed. I'm like, I shouldn't be.
He
feeling
missed
like
the
this.
green
Like,
cave.
I don't understand.
no.
Because he
I
was
can't
knocked
lift my
out.
Hand up. I know.
Yeah.
What did they give you? Do you know?
Antihistamine.
But it was like we don't know I don't know what kind of antihistamine it
Sounds
was.
like a Croatian.
it was a
antihistamine.
Croatian
Yeah.
antihistamine.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
that
it was just like a cold medicine. It was
Yeah.
like
but that was the
anything.
best
Because I don't do
fun.
NyQuil, like nothing, like literally Nothing.
Yeah, that's what we did for my birthday this year.
That's
we went
fun.
on the yacht for
Was
a week.
it so fun for you that he couldn't go out one day? And you were like, "Oh, awesome!" No, I'm just kidding.
The reason why we
Well.
can't anybody is because the 2 people cost like a whole village.
plus the
And I don't
plus the
drink.
extra alcohol. It was
And there's
crazy.
only so much you can eat. I mean, that's like
I know.
like the ceviche and the lobster.
Oh, yeah.
God, he just
All day long. It was
Nice.
amazing.
It was
That
yeah,
sounds fun.
that's the way to do it, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you have one life. Live it.
Yeah, I
think
agree.
live it and have fun. Oh my God. Killing Hasselhoff. I'm supposed to ask you about that. What is this?
David Hasselhoff?
Yeah, it was a movie about killing Hasselhoff, about trying to
They're trying to kill him, right?
Yeah,
Poor
it
guy,
was
I like that
it was
guy.
very fun to work on. I honestly don't know if it came out. I think it did. I think it did. It was very funny. It was
Yeah.
like satire.
Yeah.
And yeah, it came out.
And
I'm
what did you
sorry.
do in it? What was your role? You were trying to kill David
I
Hasselhoff?
don't even remember what my role was. What does it say?
Was
Was
that
it
great of a
was
movie?
It that big budget?
No, it was like low, but it was
Oh,
so
low budget.
fun. Yeah, like this.
Here we are.
Like this podcast. No, God, what was my role? I
No,
don't.
That's funny.
Low budget means there's at least $1.50 to
Wait,
it.
did they
Right.
kill him at the end?
No, I don't think so. Oh, I played. That's right. I played like this girl's mom, and I was like, she liked to go out clubbing, and I would try to go out clubbing with her, and
Yeah.
it was a super fun role. But I know it came out, but I just don't.
Do you
it's hard to remember that
do you
much about it.
prefer acting or doing stand-up comedian?
I like both.
Okay.
And I think it depends on which one I'm doing more, and my answer can change.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now I would love to just be on a show again, like when I was on Insatiable.
Yeah.
which we-
Regulars.
I loved you
It's
on
just-
Insatiable.
It was so fun. That was like the craziest
Great show.
show
Well, what
I've ever been
I'll
on.
hook you up with Liz Rome.
Okay,
She knows
does
Liz
all
Rome.
those-
she does. She does.
knows
a lot.
Liz Rome.
I mean, I don't know her, but
Oh.
Yeah, she
we
does
haven't
all
worked
these,
together.
She does all these shows. She could put you with.
She does
you could be
drama- she
Dead
does dramas, though.
Body.
She doesn't do
You could be
comedy.
fine.
I do dramas.
You do?
Listen,
Drama.
Liz, I do dramas. Don't listen to them.
She doesn't have to talk.
Oh my God.
That show is
Don't give her
so.
lines.
Yeah.
That show was so fun. Every time I got my script, I was like, "Oh my God!" Like when I had the cocaine and
Yeah.
the boobs and all this.
I love that.
Yeah, it was super
That's
fun.
funny.
but-
Oh, because it was like something that you were having fun with as well, so it made sense for you.
yeah, it was just it was just a
serious,
fun.
like.
It was the show was everything. It was like funny. It had a heart. I mean, there was definitely dramatic
course it
moments.
Yeah.
but there
And
was
it's
like-
found its
role
a new
was
home
fun.
at Netflix, right? So now it's on Netflix.
It's on
I saw-
Netflix. Yeah, it was always on Netflix.
Oh, what? Oh,
yeah.
did they just re-release it or something? Because
No.
I always see it on my top
Yeah,
new release or something now.
that's
It
good.
keeps
Hopefully
coming
they're
out.
pushing it out. Maybe they'll just decide to give us a third
Oh my
season.
God.
And
Do you get more residuals?
I don't think so. Netflix is not good about residuals. So.
I got to check one time.
Oh.
I think it was 10 cents.
yeah.
Oh yeah, when you get those,
I'm
you're
like,
like,
it costs so
I
much
get-
more money to send it to me.
yeah.
It's
Like
hilarious.
it was a whole very
Yeah.
professional looking paper too.
Yeah. Yes.
I know they send you a check. I learned early on because at first, they're good residuals
Yeah.
when they first start,
Yep.
and then they get watered down the more things air.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I ever opened an envelope, it said residuals department, and I was like, oh, cool, this is gonna be,
Yeah.
this will solve my problems for the month. And then I was like, what the fuck? Why is it 25 cents? What am I gonna do?
It's insane.
You're like, it costs more to send this damn
I was
thing.
like, and I didn't know how to deposit it because when I took it to the bank, they're
Yeah.
like, I don't know how to deposit 10 cents.
I got that one residual check for 3 cents. And I was just like, I don't even understand it. Like, I don't
No.
even know what to do with a 3-cent check.
Mobile deposit doesn't even recognize them. Like anytime if I throw them in a pile with a few other ones, they're
Yep.
like, we can't read that. It's
Yeah.
too small.
That's
They're
hilarious.
like, this is too sad. You're gonna have to go to the ATM to get this one.
I love that,
in
though.
there.
Before we do Runway Rundown.
Yes.
Because,
did
we
a
do
show
that-
with Anthony
yeah.
Anderson.
Oh, you did.
Oh, yeah. He did To Tell the Truth.
Oh, nice.
But
Oh, that's
the
fun.
crazy thing is, they had Anthony Rubio was on it, and he was the dog designer who was the real person, and Paul was on to play an imposter.
Okay.
And they couldn't figure out that he was a designer.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Such a good liar.
Were you mad?
I was like, am
No,
I a
you
good
won.
liar?
He
I
was a good
I
liar.
was like, but I'm not
Yeah.
lying at all. I'm just like,
Did they catch you? No, they caught you, right? No, they didn't.
No, they all voted for me.
Yeah, they all thought he
that's
was the
funny.
dog, and he wasn't.
And then during the break, Anthony comes over and goes, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
like
That's
exactly.
hilarious.
Before we do Runway Rundown, because we do it on our show, what do you think of Runway Rundown when we do it on Jeff Lewis's show?
I've been burned so many times.
Do you still like us after
I
we've...
do, yeah. When we were going to the Hollywood, the haunted night,
Yeah.
John was like, "Is that the two guys that make fun of the way you dress?" Because he listens, he loves
Yeah.
you guys.
oh my god.
No, it's funny because I learned my lesson fast, but
And you stepped it up.
I did, and then one time you guys voted me best dressed.
Yes.
Shane goes, "It's never happened before. It's never happened that somebody got the absolute worst and then the best." And
But you totally stepped it up.
yeah, well, it's funny because
It cost you the invitation
even-
to the Christmas party. You know you don't want us around. You know that.
That's
I
funny.
don't. No,
We'll bring our own security to escort us out.
It's funny because we are gonna have security, so be careful. No, it's funny because as a comedian, you
Yeah.
get used to doing radio.
Yep.
And it would be at like you go into sometimes you'd be doing morning radio at 6 a.m.,
Yeah.
7 a.m.
Oh, yeah,
They're not filming it. It's not like Jeff Lewis, right?
Yeah.
And so you just kind of get used to just sort of being like,
Schlepping
I don't
in
have to
there.
do anything. Like
Yep.
I wouldn't go in my pajamas,
Right.
but I'd be like, oh, I don't even have to really put on makeup, just some mascara, throw in a shirt and jeans, no big deal. And then a couple times I had a couple of big fails with you guys.
And then Paul and Patrick happened.
yeah.
But don't
And
you?
now I'm
But,
like-
but aren't you glad? Like
you
Jeff should be
appreciate it?
thanking us because now all his guests are dressing up and going.
It is not because they do a picture and then you're like,
Right.
and then you're like, oh God, I'm gonna be in the picture, and then I forgot I was gonna be in the picture.
But my point of view for that is the fact that when you wake up in the morning,
Yeah.
you want to set your day right, and you've got all these things that you want to do. You don't wear the same thing that you're doing at the grocery store that you're
Right.
wearing to go to a nail tech, or
Right.
that you're going to the department store, that you're going to go visit for a lunch for your friend. And there's so many things, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So you want to be able to represent yourself. And when you're coming into the studio and you want that energy, and that's your job,
Yeah.
you're going to a workspace.
True.
And you're just schlepping in there like it doesn't matter because nobody sees me. But look at all the people that saw you from the parking lot all the way in, and then breakfast downstairs and all the other stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah.
And then there's a picture.
Yeah.
To remind you
Well,
how awful it was.
I think the worst one was the one time that I thought that I had stepped it up, and I really. And that's the one that you guys were like, "What the fuck was she wearing?" And I'm like, the tablecloth. And I was like, "Oh, it looks so cute. It was from Rent the Runway." I was even like trying to rent an outfit, and that shirt was a big fail. And I was like, I remember I texted Shane because I didn't have your numbers yet. I go, just let them know I burned it. It's burned. They'll never see it
told us,
again.
right?
Yeah.
That's. But today you look so cute. I love the
thank you.
tattered
But-
jeans.
Thank
But
you.
doesn't it
cute.
make sense that you learn something from it as well? That when you're actually starting to live life with a different lens on,
Yes.
that you're inspired. You're like,
Yeah.
you know, what would the boys say? Yeah, not that one. Let's
Yeah.
do this one.
But
It's more fun when you guys do it. It's less fun when like commenters decide
Oh,
that
yeah.
they're in on the
Yeah.
joke, and they're like,
yes.
God, you look like shit today. You're like, all right. But it hasn't happened to me in a long time. Thanks to you guys. So we're good.
But
We're
you know
good.
what I also think? I think that when people are now getting not like dressed to the nines, but putting thought into their outfits to go on the radio, to be on Jeff Lewis.
Yeah.
I feel like even their persona on the air is different because they feel good about
they
what
feel
they're
better.
wearing.
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean? Like
The
they put
confidence.
effort into
Yeah,
it.
definitely. And
Not-
you are sitting there, and they're
Yeah.
filming it on top
Yes.
of it, and some people actually do watch it. So it's like, yeah.
The whole thing is
Yes.
taped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the after hours didn't used to be. The second hour
Now it is.
used to be.
Yeah.
And so,
Well,
and there were no.
So the studio was taped, but they never released it.
Right.
Yeah.
We've always done the Fridays. So it was always the Friday shows in the very beginning that
That they would
one of the
release on
only
video.
ones that was on
Yeah.
video.
Right.
Then afterwards, then every day started being on video.
Right.
Then now the whole second hour is on
Right.
video.
Yeah.
And when I'm supposed to be inspired by all these glamorous people that
Yeah.
I watch on television, that I see on stage, that I'm inspired to
Yeah.
want to listen to, and I'm looking at your picture going,
They come in a
What the-
tablecloth.
Yes. I have like some of the housewives.
have
Some,
that.
of,
I
some
don't-
of
I
our
don't
friends, their
understand.
housewives, are texting me like, "Did I do okay? What did you think of my outfit today?"
before they go on,
I think I heard Shannon Bedore the other day saying like, "Wait, I didn't make the photo. She was late or something." They were like, "She didn't make the photo, and I had a sweater on. They would have loved." Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
Yeah, it's
But
totally
it is.
fun.
But
It's all in good fun.
They also send us the picture the night before. This is what I was gonna wear. This is what I should wear. But I'm bloated. Which one should I like? I'm like, oh my god!
It's hilarious.
It's amazing. It's super fun.
But
It is
I
fun.
also feel that it's bonded us all together in a different way, and I feel that
I think
that's
so.
the beauty of it.
Yeah, it's
we're
a
not
thing.
judging to be judgy.
Well, we did
we
tell
want-
Michael Hitchcock that he looked like he was dressed going to
Well,
DJ at a quinceanera, and then we found out that he does DJ at a quinceanera.
DJ, who knew? Yeah, but does that? I mean, because it's.
But even he
It's
stepped up his wardrobe.
but it's relative because now you know it's identified, and
Yeah.
I don't even know you.
Right. That's so
So
funny.
if I don't
It
know
is.
you and you do DJ, or at least that's your side gig, hello.
Exactly. So before we do
It's fun.
Runway
It's fun.
Rundown, I want to remind everyone they can get their coffee reading at polateu.com, POLATTEU.com, because Sarah is going to do your coffee reading
I know, I'm
today.
so
That's
excited.
the real reason why you came on
It
the
is.
podcast.
Yes. I was like, yes.
It's
I'm
cool,
gonna-
right? It's
I'm
gonna be
getting my
cool.
coffee reading.
I'm
Yep.
gonna read I'm gonna get my
I'm
coffee
so excited
read.
to get it.
Okay. I have to cut 1 second. Jordan, I got to run down and get the iPad that Avery put together for me. Sorry.
When do you do it?
This podcast is brought to you by Her Dat Media and American Media Television. Executive producers are Patrick Simpson, Paula Tu, and Pat Safford. Produced by Jordan Hill and Sarah Silicula. Shooting and editing by Jordan Hill. Music and theme song, Undressed, written and performed by Lionel Cohen, courtesy of DNA Productions. Artwork by Dominique Demetz, and hosted by Paula Tu, Patrick Simpson, and Little Snow White 90210. Remember to follow at Paula 2 and at Patrick Simpson and at Snow White 90210 and watch Gown and Out in Beverly Hills on Prime Video. And don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast so you never miss an episode.